Alright guys, we're back. I think the paintwork is done. Originally I was going to do a bunch of different episodes, but I think I'm just going to do the paintwork and the impeller modification all in one video. And the more I look at this machine, the more I fall in love with it. It's killer. And the sad part is, this isn't the first 824 that I've done, and I'm not even finished with this personally. I still have to put the tire chains on it. You know, and just little odds and ends. You know, like the carriage bolt that's missing. I don't know. Sorry for the pause. I'm just thinking things. You guys know I'm really hot and heavy for an 1124 Pro. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but Ariens did make an 11 horsepower engine stuffed on a 24-inch frame. That's why it's called the Pro Series, which is the same engine that's on my 1128s. And the 1128s are stuffed. They're oversized. So, I don't know. I'm at a loss right now. I'm at a crossroad. So, irregardless, no matter what, we have to press on because this machine isn't going to fix itself. And I guess the paintwork per se. Look at the final assembly. Look at the finish. This is freaking gorgeous, gorgeous. And I don't know. Just give me a minute, guys. I'm just trying to think, collect my thoughts. This is just beautiful. And I know, I promise you, I will do a daylight video in this. I mean, the end of this video, there'll be a daylight video, I guess. We're going to see how far I can take this. We're going to modify the impeller today. We're going to supercharge the machine. A very life-changing modification for your snow. There's a couple of life-changing modifications you could do to your snowblower. I feel like this one is the most satisfying. And you will see an instant change. You will have a different snowblower. You will look at snow differently. You will approach snow differently. No matter what shape and form it comes in. Right? Through my experience in snow removal, because I do snow removal, anything with an 8 horsepower engine or more, for the snow that we have seen here on Long Island, even if it's slush, an 8 horsepower engine will thrive. Now, those Hemi Predator 212cc engines that I've been sticking on anywhere from a 21 to a 24-inch snowblower, those have been conquering anything and everything for the past 2 years. I've been doing them with zero complaints. So I might have to change that statement if it has a Hemi on there. But then the issue is, you can't buy a snowblower with a Hemi on it. Anyway, that's my rant and rave. Alright, so we're going to dive into this right now. Okay, so Ariens has a lot of similarities and traits throughout all the years, since the 1960s when they first started building snowblowers. So what I'm showing you now will probably work for about a good 20 years, give or take a little, on that design machine. All the snowblowers that I run are from the same generation. You can see that. See that? You see that? And I've got more here, more in storage. Like I said, you have a little Ariens collection. And this might work its way into it. But nonetheless, this piece right here, this design, this chute design, on how to remove and upgrade is exactly the same. And it will apply to all, even in their SnowTech series line of snowblowers. Same exact process. So what we're going to do, I'm standing on it. We're going to naturally, where do we go? I'm jumping. What we're going to do is we're going to modify the impeller Some people like to call it supercharging the machine, which I feel is misleading because supercharging involves the engine. Modifying is more like it. But when people say supercharged, they feel that because it's increasing throwing capacity, that it's supercharged. It's not. That's the engine. I'm getting finicky and picky right now. All right, but anyhow, every snowblower has a gap. Oh, I really shouldn't be doing this. Right? Let's get some light. So every snowblower has a gap, right, between the impeller and the impeller housing right here, right? And that's for good reason. So metal to metal, and you won't destroy anything. So the tighter the tolerance, the less snow that gets clogged up in here, and it'll jam up your machine. So Ariens has a pretty good tolerance. But we're going to make it better. We're going to make sure that there is no gap, and no snow will get caught up with this machine, and it will throw anything and everything that'll get thrown up inside. You will most likely, if your engine is healthy, will not clog up this machine. Alright, so let's get this party started. Alright, so let's talk tools and a little bit of technology. So things we will need. Okay? Measuring tape, because we have to measure the impeller so we know how wide and the length to cut our impeller modification into. Okay, this is an Ariens. It's a little deep inside to the chute, so I need an extended extension. I'm using a 5/16 bit magnetic on it, so it could hold. See that? It doesn't go anyplace. What I'm using to hold the impeller modification down, which would be the mud flap, are sheet metal screws. 5/16 by 1 inch. And a washer. I use 2 of these per impeller, and I do every impeller. Now, what am I using to modify the impeller? Very simple. I am using mud flap off of the heavy duty truck. You could probably get this any place, like an auto parts store. What I like about it is that it's just the perfect composition for this. You see how it's flexible? See that? People recommend the side of a tire, and one of my buddies who did it, he said he really didn't notice a difference. Because that's all I do is, if you guys follow my channel, all I do is I really praise this modified impeller. He did it, he said he didn't notice a difference, he wasn't impressed. So I told him, come by, let me do it right for you. And he still hasn't. Maybe because that just left a bad impression, but if you do it this way, you will not. And as you see as I'm talking, this is your technology. So, anyway, we are going around the chute in a circular pattern. It is bending, it is adhering, it is taking all that snow with it, right? Round and round and round till it gets to the opening in to go up the chute. And look what happens. Boom. It is going to fling that snow at the same speed because of inertia. If it's in motion, it continues to travel in that motion, right? That's the rule of inertia, right? If you're in a car and you get into an accident at 65 miles per hour, your body, and if you're not wearing your seatbelt, guess what? Your body is going through that windshield, per se, at 65 miles an hour. For every reaction, there's an equal reaction. That's inertia. Bing, bang, boom. So that's exactly what we're doing with this impeller. So here's a fresh one. Here's a new one. So there's 2 different types of thicknesses on the impeller. Here's real thick. Here's real thin. It really doesn't matter. Okay? The disclosure when you modify the impeller is every little rock, every little pebble. Here's like a little screw. I'm just being an example, right? Normally, your snowblower would probably not pass this through in a violent manner. Once you modify the impeller, this becomes an object of force. So be cognizant if you're blowing snow into a house or into a vehicle. Why would you ever do that is beyond me. But you do run the risk now of damaging it. It will pick up every rock. It will pick up every acorn. Little pebbles. It's just... This thing is going to become a snowblower eater. So the first thing we need to do is measure the impeller. So we just take our rope, rope measuring tape. Actually, no, we shouldn't do that yet. Because guess what? We have to access the impeller. So let's do that. Okay, so we have a 9/16 carriage bolt. Oh, a little tight. Remember, you want to press down on this. Oops. See what happens when you film? All that stuff out, you're not supposed to. So let's go grab all that. And so there really is no good way to get a good shot of this, but let's take this off piece by piece, because that's important in constructing it all over again. Oh no, this one has the extra step. That really isn't necessary or needed. We're actually going to undo this. We're going to go the easy way. Sorry guys. We're just going to swing this out of the way. That's the plans. There we go. Out of the way. Don't scratch up my $1 million paint job. Okay, so we cheated, because I'm going to feel like taking out one extra bolt. Here's our impeller, and look how big that is compared to others. That's a really nice size. That's a lot of volume of snow. Let's measure this bad boy. This impeller is over 4.5 inches, but we're going to only do the flat part. Alright, we're not going to go crazy doing the angle. So we're going to go at 3.5. We probably could push 3.25, but 3.5 is fine. So now let's go over to our flap here. Measure 3.5. That's good. Three and a half. Now, how deep am I going? I don't know. I'm using my mechanical instinct. I want to have a nice chunk that hangs over. And then see the beauty? Guess what? We could just cut our other flaps, because we need 3.5. And I think that's it for this. I got my money's worth out of this thing. This is going to be tough, but we want tough. Now what I'm doing is I'm just cutting my other flaps, so I don't have to do it 3 times. And the same thing. 3 flaps. Now, if you're doing this in really cold weather, and this mud flap is really, really hard, take a heat gun. And the heat gun will make this very easy to work with. Alright, so I'm going to try and do this with the machine. And capture this. Because I'm going to try really, really hard. And it's going to take a little bit. Because this is an Ariens. This is not your MTD made overseas machine. This is good old American iron. Steel. This is thick. So you're going to have some patience compared to others. So anyway, let me see. Put the flap in there. Let's get some light going the other way maybe. Let me see if you guys get a better camera angle. Alright guys, well here we are in broad daylight. I guess you guys are wondering what the hell happened. It's quite simple. I thought I pressed the record button but I didn't. So let's undo what I did to show you what to do. So in this Ariens, right, it has this extra step where you need to remove this bolt here. Let's see, let's turn the crank this way. See that bolt back there? That's an extra step. This machine, you don't have to remove any of that. Look at this here. These two, right here, these two bolts come out, releases the bracket. Now I don't want to mess up my paint job, so hold on. Alright, so check this out. Just get to lift this up and out of the way. Can we do that? Come on. There we go. Look at this. Out of the way. Okay. If you get a good look at the impeller, you can see there is no gap. Alright, so let me get my tools out and we'll show you how to get it done. Alright, so let's pretend like we're starting all over again. Are we recording? Yes, we are recording this time. Okay, I'm just going to take this out. Okay. See those holes there? That's where they go. So what happens is, when you put your mud flap in, we're just going to cut a new mud flap. Alright, so when you cut your mud flap, right, you just want to have it hang over a little bit, right? And you want to support it on the inside. It's got to line up that hole. You want to support it underneath and apply downward pressure. And you're good to go. Just do the other one. So don't go crazy. Just make it snug. And that's it. So, my apologies. Now you can see, right? There's no gap. And because the snow goes this way, let's look at the impellers because they're already broken in. See that? See how they have an angle on them? It's That's exactly what you want. That's why you want to cut it longer. Alright guys, so we're in. Going to give a nice healthy coating on the inside one more time. Just hitting the bottom where you think the impellers are going to rub through. Alright. And then we're going to give this thing a rip. Make sure nothing is here because it's going to suck it all up. I have my chute housing going towards the neighbor's house. Choke up, throttle up. Alright, let's give it a pull. This thing has been... We have choked the wrong way. Hold on. Now notice the noise that the impeller is going to make. See how it got loud? Now it's nice and quiet. That guys got nice and noisy, and then as the impellers broke in, it got nice and quiet, and you get little chunks like this. And that's what's left over. So now this impeller is properly adhered and broken in. Alright guys, that's it for now. I'm going to put the belly button cover on, and the next time you see me, I guess will be a final walkthrough. Alright? Because I think we did the belts, we did the oil. We greased it while it was all apart. Tomorrow's supposed to be a little warm, so I might just finish up a little paint work on this thing. And we'll go from there. Alright guys, that's a wrap. I'm calling it a night. If you guys found this video helpful, smash the like button, smash that subscribe button. Guess what? I'll see you guys on the next episode of PATTAY'S Performance. Later.